Merry Christmas, Manchester United fans. Santo has just delivered a sack of shit on our doorstep. Really don't know what to say about that West Ham game yesterday. I'm actually lost for words. I think the reality is setting in. I don't know how it hasn't already, just watching us this season. But the reality is setting in that we are a mid-level team. Simple as that. 9th, 10th, 8th at a push. Forget Champions League football. Forget anything. Forget any hopes or ambitions for the season at all. And everyone who's saying, sack the manager, get rid of him, that's fine. I understand it. At this point, I think he's lost more games than he's won in all competitions. We haven't scored, I think, for 6 hours. We got battered off Bournemouth 3-0, beat off Bayern Munich, beat off West Ham. And there's another team in there as well who I can't even remember. Liverpool, 0-0 at Anfield, of course. So I get it. I absolutely understand why you would want to get rid. But who do you bring in? Who do you bring in? That's the thing. And are you going to bring Graham Potter in now? You think he's going to turn the season around? Absolutely not. There isn't anyone available, so I think they're just going to stick with him whilst this transitional thing's happening with Ineos and Sir Jim. And then they're going to get to the end of the season and they'll review it depending on where we're at. And we could be fucking 12th or we could be pushing for Champions League at this point. I really don't know. But the players are definitely accountable. We say this every single week. I don't want to cover old ground because I always say it. So it's not new news. It's not me making a new point. Just not good enough. Simple as that. I mean, Højlund, between Garnacho and Antony, they made a combined total passes of one. One pass to him. He just was non-existent in the game. He can't get hold of the ball. Bruno Fernandes isn't even supplying him enough because he's running like headless chicken everywhere. There's just way too many things to discuss. There's maybe a couple of positives you can pluck from that game. But apart from that, this pros and cons is going to be, the majority, once again, is going to be negative. So let's start with the negatives then. This midfield experiment is not working. It's not working. Why does Erik ten Hag consistently play Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, and whoever it is in Amrabat or Kobe Mainoo? Why did he keep playing them three? Because the sixes are so isolated. I get, look, if you want attacking impotence because your front three aren't scoring, that's probably why he plays McTominay. But when McTominay doesn't score, much like Marcus Rashford, apart from that, they don't give fuck all. You don't get anything out of him. McTominay did nothing yesterday. If you have a midfield that is blended with composure, talent, football intelligence, you control that game so much better. And you create chances so much better for your forwards as well, because it's not just on the wingers to create chances. You need it from your midfielders, and McTominay doesn't do that at all. Bruno does it sometimes. He links play, a couple of balls in behind, but you need smart players on the ball, and it kills me to say this because it's Man City, but like your David Silvas, your De Bruyne's, your Rodris, you think McTominay's anywhere near that at all? And the answer you think in your head is, nah, nowhere near it. So why is he in the team then? The midfield experiment isn't working, and the manager keeps picking it. He keeps picking it. So if he loses his job, as far as I'm concerned, it's his own fucking fault. Because, you need to make a change. I'm probably sat there at Amrabat. I'm like, why am I not playing alongside Kobe Mainoo in this game? Because McTominay can score. When was the last time McTominay scored now? So if that was your only reason, you need to take him out of the team. The front three just simply are not scoring enough or having enough shots or creating enough chances. I've already touched on it slightly at the start of the video just because I couldn't control my anger. But look, obviously, Højlund still hasn't got a Premier League goal in 13 or 14 games, I think it is. We'll have that guy who's become a meme about Højlund. Still waiting on come on, Højlund, I know you can do this. That geezer, everyone knows what I'm on about. So that's just going to make a return until he actually scores a goal. But again, no service. Antony is just like, come on, 85 million quid. Even if we would have spent 30 million quid, I would have been like, that's a fucking rip-off. What a joke that is. West Ham have the winger we should have bought. Mohamed Kudus, 40 million quid, cost half of what Antony cost. And looks the far better player. And settled in well quicker. Antony just doesn't, no goal or assist since, I don't know, last year, February or something. 9 months or whatever it's been. No goal or assist for Marcus, or more than one goal or assist, I think, for like 6 months. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Garnacho had an amazing chance, failed to put it away, panicked a little bit. He had a very similar chance against Liverpool, failed to put it away. If you're not clinical, you don't kill games off, teams in the Premier League will punish you and they murder you, and that's exactly what happened. So the attack, it's not as if we've even got, a multitude of options that we can drag players from and say, right, drop him, because they're all playing shit. Every single one of them are playing shit. And, Antony, 85 million quid, Højlund, 70 million quid, Garnacho, exciting talent, Pellistri, Rashford, no one. No one. I don't know where the goals are going to come from for the rest of the season, so we're fucked. West Ham have now gone above us in the league, and that means that has a knock-on effect then financially, in terms of revenue, in terms of players that can come into the club, attracting certain things, blah, blah, blah. For Sir Jim as well, obviously the money pot goes right down. So, yeah, our league position affects us significantly. We're 8th, I think, at the moment. We've got Aston Villa next, by the way, on Boxing Day. We play Tottenham at some point. Like, this could get really... We could end up slipping down into the bottom half of the table, and that's not being sensationalist or trying to get a reaction out of you lot. That's genuine. That is genuine. It's another horrific second season. Happened under Ole, happened under Mourinho. It is a cycle that continues to happen, and Ten Hag will go. They'll bring in an interim. End of the season, we've seen this chapter before, right? It's yeah. Like I said, Merry Christmas. Fuck me. Injuries. I'm not using this as an excuse, first and foremost. I'm definitely not using it as an excuse because the players on that pitch, good enough to win that game. 100, no doubt in my mind. We are obviously missing... We've got no Lisandro Martinez, no Varane, no Maguire, who probably would have been really good for yesterday's game. No Dalot because of suspension. Eriksen's only just come back from an injury. No Mason Mount, brand new signing. Just players missing left, right, centre. And it's a huge issue for us at the moment. You look at the 2 goals yesterday, I know one of them Shaw could have done better for. Onana potentially could have done better for the first one as well. And then the second one, Kobe Mainoo makes a mistake and Kudus kills the game off. But the injuries are definitely hurting us. I'm not saying we would have won that game if we had them players available, but I don't think we would have lost it. Because you look at our defence last season, best in the league. It was the best in the league, and now it's gone to the worst in the league. Near enough, anyway. So, injuries are really, really killing us at the minute. Positives, look, I think the youngsters who started yesterday, I think Mainoo, since he's come into the team, has been one of the best players. And the composure, which is why it's weird, because he makes a mistake and you're like, you don't expect that from him because he's been so composed since he's come in. But people are very quick to forget that youngsters make mistakes. So, it happens. I'm not going to go in on him. I'm not going to go mad. It is what it is. It happens, right? Apart from that, he's been sensational. You got to think his starts have been at Galatasaray, one of the worst atmospheres ever, where it's cooked the most experienced players up. Everton at Goodison Park, Liverpool at Anfield. Like, I think he's dealt with 90% of it really, really well. Makes a clanger yesterday. It is what it is. It happens. Many senior players have done these mistakes before. But apart from that, I just think for a young kid to step into this United team at the minute, this shit United team, and to stand out, fair play to you, because it's hard in that kind of environment. And equally with Camboala as well. You see the lineup yesterday, you're like, Jesus Christ. No senior centre-backs available apart from Johnny Evans, who we brought in on a 1-year contract. So Camboala's going to have to start. And I didn't think he looked out of place. He looked okay. He dealt with the majority of things pretty well. A little bit nervous in the first 5 minutes, but apart from that, was absolutely fine. So fair play to the kids, actually, for stepping up and showing, what it should be about. I think the only positive you could take out of that game, genuinely, I don't think there's anything else. Just to add another stat on there, I mean, there's like a million stats coming out after the game. We've still yet to be a top 9 team away from home. I mentioned before, 3-0 against Bournemouth, 1-0 against Bayern Munich, 0-0 against Liverpool, 2-0 against West Ham. Failed to score in 4, haven't scored for 6 hours, lost more games than we've won. I mean, we're breaking the records for all the wrong reasons. I saw something that had like 90 years on it. I can't remember the specific stat. But it's getting to that point now when the stats start getting flung out, the ones that you really don't want to see. Ten Hag comes out after the game, says we played really well, but didn't take our chances. I mean, I'm not too sure about that. But he's got to answer the questions in a certain way. You kind of have to be political answers in that regard. So he's not going to come out and say we played absolutely shit, But I thought he could have been a little bit more critical of the players because they've been horrendous. And the criticism is definitely there for the manager, but the players as well. I said this on a video weeks ago. If you're going to get rid of the manager, do it with conviction and get rid of the fucking players as well. Simple as that for me. So the conclusion then, what do we do as United fans? What are the hopes? What's the future? What can we look forward to? And my answer to this question is fuck all. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. This is it. Forget this. This Champions League thing, I'm going to have to rip this down. Because we ain't playing in that. Not a chance. FA Cup, I mean, at this point, I couldn't give a shit. I just want us to play nice football. The FA Cup, I mean, we'll probably beat Wigan. And everyone's saying we're going to win the FA Cup, but there's no hope or ambition for this season. It's dragging it out until the end of the season, and then the summer we reassess once again, bring a new manager in, and then probably see what happens. I don't know. I really, really don't know. There's that I mentioned on the review with Sam and Connor. There's that many issues at Manchester United at the moment. You can't just. It's not just one thing what you can look to and say, right, if we get that right, this will improve. It's not. It's this is happening. We've got fucking a 1-star rating for cooking raw chicken, for fuck's sake. I mean, there's more than one problem at this club. Honestly, from top to bottom, it really, really needs a reshuffle in the most professional sense. We really need to sort it out because it's a mess. I mean, players are probably looking at this club now and are like, I don't want to go to United. This badge here, this shirt, it used to mean something. It means fuck all now. The history is only so long. The history obviously means a lot to us, but it's only so long you can cling on to that. You want to start making new history. We want to win trophies. And it's so disappointing after last season when you watch what Erik ten Hag had done with what he had at his disposal under the current ownership and everything that was going on, with Ronaldo and De Gea. It looked so promising, and it feels like we're back at square one again. So, yeah. Look, I'll try to leave you on a positive note. I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas and a New Year. Don't drink too much or eat too much. Hopefully, United can turn this around and we can beat Villa, but I'm not very hopeful. That would be a nice Christmas present. But apart from that, yeah, have a wonderful New Year. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you for watching Pros and Cons. Please do leave a like on the video for us. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and this is the first time watching Pros and Cons. And I'll see you guys in the next one, yeah? Happy New Year, everyone.